Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how I solved the mistake I made when I first bought the rig. When I first bought the rig, I got these carpet tread covers thinking that it would cut down on the slipping and stuff like that, which they certainly do. But the problem is that when it rains, they get super wet and absorb the water and hold on to it for a long time because it's got nowhere to run off. And you got to kind of just rely on the air to dry them out. Takes a long time. So if you come out here and you happen to sit on them like I do when I'm watching my dogs or whatever, your butt gets wet. So with my effort to keep up with the Joneses, I'm going to show you how I put in some new treads like my neighbors did, and this kind of solves the problem. They look pretty cool too. So stick around, I'll show you how I get it done. All right, so here we go. I'm going to use, I'll show you how these things were put on just so you kind of know what I'm up against. Just tear these off. So there's springs on here. I'm just going to tear, I know I'm not going to use these anymore, so I'm just going to tear the springs off. Use gloves if you got these because they're rusted and they could be pretty sharp. So there you go. And that's it. They just kind of wrap around like that. You can see there's a bunch of garbage here. So I'll use a blower to get that off. But one thing you want to do is remove this. And what I found is that if you get it started, a little bit, I've got these little plastic razor blades, which obviously don't work well when you get too much pressure. So let me see if I can get this started with the real razor blade. And then once you get it started, which obviously is going to take me a while, you know, on camera, why wouldn't it? They are going to be a pain in the ass to get off. Oh man, okay, so let me work on this. I'll fast forward through this so you don't have to see the pain and suffering. I'll try the other side, maybe. Seeing as I got that one all kind of fudged up. Just take your time, I guess. This is probably the hardest part of it all. There you go. I think I got it going now. Ugh. Almost. All right, there you go. So once you get it started, just pull it back on itself. Don't pull up because you'll tear it. So just pull it back on itself. Well, guess that didn't work. Might have to take it off in pieces. I did another one and it came off really easy. I just kind of got it started good enough, I guess. I might have to go ask Jeff how he did his. That's the neighbor I'm copying. That's the Joneses. We'll call them Jeff and Kelly Jones. All right. So just taking my time. I guess pulling it straight up might be the better way to do it. But there you go. All right, that's one down. All right. All right, so let's see if this works better. Gonna get it under it so I can get it started all in one piece. So far, so good. Just got to be patient, I guess. Okay, looks like I'm getting better luck this time. You want to take this off because the adhesive on the back of the new tread stuff probably won't stick to this. Plus it's all dirt on here and you're never going to get it really clean. So there you go. That one was a lot easier. Awesome. All right. Through the magic of YouTube, this one was already done. I did that one earlier. That was my test one. All right. There you go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut my door and use my leaf blower to kind of get off the loose stuff, and then I'm going to have to clean it up, get all the other dust that's kind of dried up and hardened. All right, I got this little stiff brush here. So what I'll do is I'll just do this, try to loosen it all up. I think I got most of it. All right, now what I'll do is I'll get this residue off, just so I don't have any problems with the adhesive on the other stuff. So I'll use some Goo Gone, that should break that down. I'll just put it on where I know the stuff is. Maybe just a little bit. There's a little bit of a lip here, so I'm getting that off too. Let it sit for a couple. Have some coffee while I wait. Pretty easy. I got a rag here, and if you rub it, it kind of just comes off. Might take a little bit, but a little bit of elbow grease. And then, you know, I know that those plastic razor blades work for this. I don't want to call them razor blades, but you know what they are. Yeah, once that Goo Gone gets on there and loosens it up, these blades will work fine to take the rest of the residue off. I'm going to use some degreaser, and that will clear it off as well. I'm going to clean off the goo stuff just so that's not kicking around as I use the degreaser. And the degreaser will just make sure everything's kind of not greasy. All right, so that should clean it up. I'll let that dry a little bit. And I already have one of the treads cut. I'm going to show you. So, you notice different sizes, right? This top one is a little bit bigger, deeper than the rest of these. So when you order from SeaDek, I'll put some links down below. You're going to get them. They may not fit. You can see that's a little too wide, and it's also a little bit too deep. So I took this one, already cut it, used a straight edge to do it, and you can see that it sets in. I'll do it down here. This is one. Oh, here. So that hopefully you can see that on camera. And you'll notice this is the little logo. It's upside down, but the reason that is because it kind of looks better. If you had cut it this way, keeping the logo, you would have cut through the logo. So I just wouldn't like that look. So I'd rather have it upside down rather than looking kind of unfinished. So that's what they're going to look like. Cut up off a little bit off each side. I'll show you a little bit of detail of how I did that. I'm going to stick this down on this first one here because I know it's all dried off. It's got adhesive on the back. So I will peel that off and see how it goes. Try to line it up. All right. Peels off easy enough. Make sure I get the right direction. And I kind of center it a bit. There you go. Once you put it down, it's not coming back off. So, one and done. Give it some pressure. Voila. Ta-da. Microphone flying all over the place. Nice. Step on it a little bit. That is not going anywhere. So there, that's all it took. All right, so I'm going to clean up a few things, and then I'll show you how I cut the rest of these to size. So stick around. Okay, so from the manufacturer or the factory, these treads are exactly 24 inches wide. The stair treads, in between the stringers, if you will, is exactly 23 and a half. Which means we got to take off a ½ inch off of this, and of course we want to do that symmetrically, so a half divided by 2 is a quarter, and it just so happens that right at the edge of this reverse radius where it meets the top flush part. That's just about 1/4 of an inch. So I'll just use a straight edge. I have a T-square. So I'll just use this as a straight edge and go right up against that, and then use a razor to cut through that. It's really, really easy to cut through with a sharp blade. So as long as you put some pressure to hold the straight edge there, and then bring it on down, should be fine. And then also, so the depth of these from the factory are about, it's about 8.5 roughly. These treads are back to back are 8, and there's a radius on the front and a radius on the back, so you don't want to have to wrap these over that, because the adhesive probably will not hold with that kind of reverse pressure on it. So I decided to go 7 inches. What I said these were 8.5, so I got to take 1.5 inches off. And as I said, if I took an 1.5 inches off from this side, it would have cut that logo right in the middle, or not just about in the middle, which would have looked, just would have bothered me. So I'm going to do it this way, and I'll take it off. And then I think the other one, I'll come back to it when I get to it. I think that one might fit. We'll have to do the width, but I don't think the depth has to be adjusted, but we'll see. All right, so let me get that done, and then I'll be back, and we'll just but I won't put that on camera. You guys know how to cut a straight edge. On the long way, when I do that, what I'm going to do, because my T-square isn't long enough and I don't want to kind of reverse go edge to edge, I never seem to match that up. So I've got these pieces of wood here, and what I'll do is I'll just kind of do that, and I've got a couple of clamps. I'll just bite that down a little bit with these little clamps I got, and that'll hold that, and I can just run the blade. All right, so you saw how easy that cut. So let's see. There you go. Goes in perfect. And now I'll just have to decide on where to cut this. Like I said, I'll probably take 1.5 inches off. So let me get one of those done. All right, so I made up this little jig. I get these little small clamps here, and I just put the material between it, clamped it, measured from here to here and here to here to make sure that same length, and now I'll just cut it. Of course, the blade didn't go through the first time. It's one of these blades that you can set to the, you break off the piece and it'll get a sharp edge again. I just don't want to put too much pressure on it because I think it'll snap, because I get it kind of extended. But there you go. Cut it that time. All right. So there you go. Get that one on. And this adhesive comes off really easy. Sure you get it the right way. I'm gonna kind of line up one side, make sure that I'm off that, and because I got the square edge over here, it's gonna line up perfectly. And then there you go. So you just make sure you get that reveal in the front, flat edge on the back, and that should keep you from rolling that up when you hit that. You rarely ever hit back there. There you go. All right, a couple more to do. All right, so this one too is quite a bit deeper. So I'll measure that one. Still the same cut here though on either side, because it is the same width. So didn't like the way that sat, so I guess you get a little bit of working with it, but maybe not that much. That's better. All right, another perfect width. Now the depth of this one is just about 13 inches. The tread depth overall is 10.5. Taking into account the radius, let's see, I think that a length of about 9 3/4 will do it. All right, I think that's good. Again, I'll use one square edge here. There you go, it's perfect. Well, there you go. Looks like a really clean look. I like it. Very comfortable, and they are not slippery. As I said, they're made by SeaDek, and they're made to be on boats. So it's the same material that the marine industry uses, which obviously is around water. So they do feel like they got a firm grip. So I put my feet on there. My sneakers are worn out on the bottom, but still, it's got a good grip there. All right, well, there you go. Back in a minute, we'll do some recap. All right, so the follow-up. It's been a couple of days since I did that, and it had started raining, and it's been raining for about the past day. So a couple of advantages. The water is kind of beating up on the new treads and kind of rolling off, and still has plenty of grip, even though they're wet. And the dog's acclimated to them pretty easily. You know how dogs can get a little funky with having their paws on new stuff, but they go up and down the stairs quite well with no complaints. A nice advantage too is, you know, after it rains, those carpets were getting wet, and then the dogs would come in, get their feet wet on those, and then drag their wet paws across the RV floor here and stuff like that, because they don't wipe their feet. So now we don't have that problem. Once these things dry off, the water's gone when it needs to be gone. I talked to the Joneses about how they prep the treads to put on the new treads, and they used alcohol to clean up the residue, and that worked out well for them. I used the Goo Gone and the degreaser. Either way will work, whatever you got. So the cost of doing it cost me about probably 30-45 minutes to do it, and the cost of the material from SeaDek.com, I'll put again the link down below, was about $105 plus shipping and taxes. So for under $120, you get the new treads or tread covers, and it seems to be a pretty cool solution. So I don't know what more I can say about that. So if you like this content, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to get more of this content, please subscribe. If you think anybody else will get value from this content, please share it out to them. Thanks for watching. If you got any comments or questions, concerns, please put them down in the comments below, and I'll do my best to respond to you. Thanks for watching. I'll catch up with you later. Take care.